Hey, how low would your popularity have to be to consider that Hillary Clinton might be the solution to the problem? Well, we should ask Joe Biden, because apparently it's genuinely being considered. But what does Hillary Clinton in 2022 look like? What's the truth about Hillary Clinton, what she says and what she actually represents? Hello there, you 4.8 million wonders walking the earth together as one in limitless glory. Now, I don't care what you believe in politically, not because I don't love you, I do love you. You shouldn't care what I believe in politically, because the solutions that we come up with together are unlikely to come from the old paradigm that got us into this terrible mess. So why are we considering going backwards to Hillary Clinton? Well, I suppose because the Democrat Party's in serious trouble and Joe Biden is ranking real low, and also because Hillary Clinton has done a masterclass. What kind of masterclass is Hillary Clinton offering? Not that I know her or am seeking to criticise or condemn her as an individual human being, as a mother and a wife and all those things, although I know there's some pretty interesting theories out there, but we're going to stick to the facts that are available to us about what Hillary Clinton says and what Hillary Clinton in politics has done. A perfect storm in the Democratic Party is making a once unfathomable scenario plausible, a political comeback for Hillary Clinton in 2024. Now, the reason it's implausible, of course, is because she stood against Trump, and if indeed the Republicans do go with Trump, reprising that battle that went so badly for the Democrat Party would seem to be a foolish thing to do, because many people believe that the Democrats would have won that election were it not for Hillary Clinton's unpopularity. But a lot of people, of course, were very much affected emotionally by Trump. I know a lot of you guys, for example, really love Donald Trump and his whole anti-establishment kind of stance, but we've had a Trump presidency now and we can see what that's like. And will we yet see Hillary Clinton as president of the United States? Let me know in the comments below what that makes you think, whether you think it's possible. Let's get into this. The circumstances that could lead to this are President Biden's low approval rating, doubts over his capacity to run for re-election at 82. Bloody hell. I mean, like, isn't there a point where you stop feeling malice and think, are you all right, mate? Vice President Kamala Harris's unpopularity and the absence of another strong Democrat to lead the ticket in 2024 have created a leadership vacuum in the party which Mrs. Clinton viably could fill. Okay, well, I wonder if this is true, and I wonder if this is wise. I mean, a lot of people think that Bernie Sanders would have been, Joe Rogan, for example, endorsed Bernie Sanders. A lot of people think that Bernie Sanders would have beaten Trump. A lot of us believe, and I'd include myself in this, that Bernie Sanders is the closest thing we got to a politician with integrity who authentically just wants to help people. I'm sure there are flaws in that, because you've got there's flaws in everything. But that's not who's being talked about. Who's being talked about is Hillary. Let's have a look at what that really means, because Hillary Clinton's been a politician, so we can see what kind of decisions she's made and what kind of things she's been involved in. Elizabeth Schultz writes in Jacobin, as a supporter of the war in Iraq, Clinton racked up quite the rap sheet during her time as Secretary of State, escalating wars, greenlighting coups, and generally maintaining and expanding US power around the globe. So, like, a lot of people won't think there's anything wrong with that. That's, all's fair in love and war and that kind of stuff. But often when I've seen Hillary Clinton's public appearances or performances, there's a presentation of a kind of, feminine strength, I suppose, is the angle. But let's see how that lines up with the facts. In 2009, Clinton stood with Defense Secretary Robert Gates, a Republican, and called for 30,000 more troops in Afghanistan. On most foreign policy decisions, including Libya, Clinton was in favour of equally aggressive action, if not more so than former Bush appointee Gates. Clinton and Obama got away with hawkish policies because they stuck to the language of humanitarian intervention and liberation. Clinton helped assert the right of the US government to intervene in any country of its choosing, using the most brutal means possible to achieve its ends. This is why I think a lot of us have become disappointed and disillusioned with mainstream politics, because the party that likes to present itself as humanitarian actually behaves when it comes to the crunch as hawks. Let me know in the comments below if that's why you feel disillusioned. You see these people come out and say we care about this and that and everyone's equal and we're all the same and let's love one another. Then when it comes to crunch time, the bombs start dropping. Clinton was an enthusiastic supporter of Obama's decision to step up the use of drone warfare in Pakistan, Yemen and Somalia. Clinton and the Obama administration sold the drone program as a precise and effective way to target terrorists with fewer risks of collateral damage, but the numbers tell a different story. In his investigative report entitled The Drone Papers, The Intercept's Jeremy Scarhill demonstrates that the drone program is far from precise and that the death of civilians is a common gamble the US willingly makes. During one 5-month period of the operation, according to the documents, nearly 90% of the people killed in airstrikes were not the intended targets. Bloody hell. 90%. That means 100 people died, 90 of them, that was a mistake. As Secretary of State, Clinton made it her business to make sure the world was open for US business, from securing defense contracts for Lockheed Martin to brokering deals to build nuclear power plants for Westinghouse. Clinton and her ambassador CEOs traveled the globe to bring foreign governments and US companies together. We have to position ourselves to lead in a world where security is shaped in boardrooms and on trading floors, as well as on battlefields, Clinton said, which sounds to me like handing over power to corporations to control geopolitics, which I don't think most of us want. That's not how we see the world, is it? Apparently what we're after is democracies where we, the people, vote for politicians who represent our interests. And the idea that more and more of that power, as well as billions of dollars, trillions of dollars, is being handed over to private corporations, many of us find troubling. If you want to accept that's the way the world is, and frankly I don't, then that's kind of up to you. But is it in alignment with the way that Hillary Clinton posits herself, positions herself, represents herself? According to a report by David Sirota at Truthdig, American military contractors and their affiliates who donated to the Clinton Foundation were awarded some $163 billion of arms deals authorized by the Clinton State Department. That makes me feel a little uneasy. The idea that the foundation receives donations and then the state arm awards contracts. That feels like corruption, even if it isn't corruption. And the government seeking to buy arms got the same preferential treatment if they sent money the foundation's way, no matter their human rights record. Clinton's department authorised $151 billion in Pentagon-brokered deals for 16 of the countries that gave to the Clinton Foundation. So certainly there is at least enough evidence for skepticism when it comes to the activities of the Clinton Foundation and Hillary Clinton. Now, when she does this masterclass, presumably she's going to talk to us about integrity, authenticity, kindness, compassion, and all those kind of things, how to become a diplomat, how to make the world a better place. And all those things are great and admirable if that's how you live.
I'm going to share with you what I intended to say if I had been elected in 2016.
Well, you weren't. Also, we don't need for everything to be soft focus and woolly, because this is a person that's been in government. We've got a fair idea that it's going to involve military industrial complex, foreign military action that's beneficial to companies that donate to your foundation, drone strikes.
My fellow Americans, today you sent a message to the whole world.
Oh my God, she's still upset about it. Isn't it interesting with human beings that we're more affected by our own emotional journey, our own emotional ups and downs, than bombing kids and that? Now, for all I know, when those 90% of people that are killed by drone strikes were killed, Hillary Clinton might have been crying like that. But I feel like if I went through that, I wouldn't want anything to do with politics ever again. This is what is called sentimentality, unearned emotion that is displayed that isn't really for something that's been earned. Hillary Clinton's undoubtedly lived an incredible life. She must be a pretty powerful person to get from wherever it was that she began to being in a position of such authority and power, and that is not something that I'm seeking to discredit or undermine. But the reality is this is a career politician that does the kind of things that career politicians do, and dressing it up in sort of femininity and compassion and matriarchal principles, when in fact same number of little Somalian kids are getting bombed, same number of big American Lockheed Martin style firms are getting massive contracts. What's the difference? We shouldn't be encouraged to make our decisions on that basis, to form our perceptions on that basis. Oh, well, that's nice. She looks nice. She's got a cardigan on. We can trust her. By the way, you can trust me. Look how cool my cardigan is.
Everybody will be knocked down. The question is, will you get back up?
She looks like she's getting right back up for 2024. In a way, the fact that you could see all those people in one cavalcade of shiny photographs staring out at you from a roster is a demonstration of the homogeneity of contemporary politics. All the storm and drang about the distinctions between a Republican and a Democratic candidate, and there they all are, Democrat, Republican, lined up in one easy cavalcade to present to you a masterclass, to tell you, oh, this is how to do diplomacy. Oh, this is how to look someone in the eye and talk to them like you mean it. This is the way to set up a deal with Lockheed Martin. This is the way to callously cut off emotionally while you're droning some foreign country. Why are we even invested in this? Because the media continually tells us we're doing something valuable instead of telling us the truth. Look, it don't matter who you vote for, you're getting the same deal. That's what you're going to be getting. That's what's on offer. Shut up and like it.
I want to share my life lessons with the hope that it might help you as you navigate your own life.
Thanks, Hillary, because I do need your advice on whether or not I'm going to bomb the Yemen. Oh no, I'm not gonna.
I made so many gaffes
One of me gaffes was I bombed these people in the Yemen.
and mistakes.
But again, the presentation of this is some light-hearted, I made some gaffes. One of the gaffes was we authorised $150 billion in Pentagon brokered deals for 16 countries that gave to the Clinton Foundation. That was a bit of a gaff we done.
There are steps you can take to build confidence in yourself, to begin to trust yourself about the decisions you will make.
I'm not making a personal judgment of Hillary Clinton as a fellow human being. I am saying that the evidence states that she was involved in wars, foundations that took money from companies that later were advantaged as a result of that relationship. And I feel like that anyone that's been involved in that kind of stuff has to own the reality of it. It makes you realise, doesn't it, and let me know if you agree in the comments below, that the media functions as a kind of laundering the perception of these people. So George Bush, who was involved in all them wars, is seen as like a cuddly old guy doing watercolour paintings. Hillary Clinton, it's not only that we're positioning her as a matriarch, and why not have a matriarchy, but we're also presenting her potentially for re-election. For me, there is an obligation on people that apparently advocating on behalf of humanity, kindness, ecology, love, all of these things, to behave differently. And if your rap sheet is all about we bombed these countries, we profited in these ways, then the media should not be complicit in presenting those people as sort of lovable little sweethearts, because that's simply not the reality of the way they exercised power.
This class is for anyone at any age who wants to think about building a life of meaning and purpose.
Masterclass, which, is a pretty good thing, actually. I've watched some of those and they're enjoyable. Presenting this as some sort of tool, some piece of utility. There's no doubt Hillary Clinton has lived an incredible life and got incredible things to tell people. But really, the real message is the world of politics, media, big business, government, they're incredibly corrupt places where you have to make unbelievable compromises and you have to be complicit in the death of innocent people. That's a reality that you can't package through Masterclass. This is just puff and fluff and nonsense. The reality, the truth, is an economic and military truth that has sort of a human death toll. And I'm not saying, that that's something that she's personally responsible for, but she's personally complicit within it and ought have that as an accessible and upfront component of her public perception.
I've been, reduced to tears. I've been frustrated beyond words.
I like that the office she's in as well looks a little bit like the Oval Office. This is what it would have been like. It might be like in 24.
The lesson that I've learned about getting back up after setbacks or disappointments is to first feel the disappointment. Don't pretend it didn't happen. It did.
It's weird, isn't it? Because these things are kind of true, but I actually resent the repackaging of public figures that participated in significant suffering as benign uncles and aunts that can sort of put an arm around you and guide you through life. I think, the choice was made. You're a participant in systems of profit and destruction. And in order to continue with that, potentially in 2024, there's this sort of makeover of sort of auntie president, when the reality of these institutions and these structures is suffering, deception, corruption. No, she ain't got a laptop on her desk, because otherwise people will be asking about the emails.
I'm Hillary Rodham Clinton, and this is Masterclass.
Fascinating, really. And obviously I don't know anything about Hillary Clinton as an individual human being. And as an individual human being, nothing but respect for people that go on various complex journeys through life. But the reality of a politician, if someone has operated at that level of state, means they've participated in a great deal of suffering and corruption, much of which has been investigated and is plainly demonstrable and has been listed here. What I suppose interests me is the media's role in repackaging and representing these figures as like elders, as people we can turn to and trust, when that is not the reality. We have to turn starkly, harshly and definitively away from these figures to create anything like happy, satisfying lives of purpose and meaning, which is what we're being offered through this, I would have to call it a sort of piece of puff piece content. If we want to build a future with meaning and purpose, these are the kind of things we have to avoid at all costs, become more discerning about, more skeptical about, more willing to spot, identify and move away from. But that's just what I think. What do you think about this video? What do you think about the idea of Hillary Clinton returning as a potential presidential candidate? When you want something new from politics, when you need something new from politics, how can you continue to believe in the circus? Well, because it's continually packaged to you is something that's appealing and real, rather than the facts, the data, the reality of what people in those positions necessarily do because of the systems they are participants in. But that's just what I think. What's a lot more important is what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Give me a like, subscribe to my channel, pass this around, communicate and circulate with your friends. If you enjoyed this video, have a look at this little guy over here. Similar topics, similarly discussed and broken down. Or have a look at this one if you want to. Please sign up to my mailing list as well, so you can come and see me live doing comedy about the last couple of years, having a laugh, a bit of a relief all over the UK. There's a link in the description, and my mailing list tells you all about that stuff too. Stay free.